Hey Triathlon Syd, and welcome to this second video meeting. Today we're going to get you through how you are going to use your results from the test week into training peaks to get the most out of your training sessions. In the end, we also are going to look at how the next training block is going to look like. First of all, I'm just so happy that so many of you have joined this training plan. And you have done great so far. Good work on the test week as well. I will start here by sharing my screen. And then we will jump into this with the zones. I just want to be very clear with that the zones always is mostly about the feeling. So if you want to go on zone 2, you always should feel easy and that you're able to talk, have a conversation during the training. Because what we are going to get you through today is how to calculate numbers for the different zones. For example, how fast you should go during zone 2 running. But these numbers, it doesn't look for how you feel during the day, but the feeling does. So if you're having a day where you had too little of sleep, nutrition was bad, you had a stressful day, something like this, or you're running in a hilly spot, then you can't go on the numbers, right? This will be wrong. But the feeling will adjust for these other things. So always remember to go on the feeling. Moreover, be clear with that the aim is super important. Know what is the aim for each session so that you get the most out of it. You should know if the session is to go easy, to prepare for distance, or if the aim is to go hard. Okay, so know the aim of the different zones and then go on the feeling. And saying that, we are now going to look how to get these numbers that can get you into the right direction. So we get to this document here, the test for triathlon that you have done. So you have filled in a lot from this. If we start with the strength training of the strength test, you have done a submaximal test. And by this one here, table here, you've got your 1 repetition maximum. For shins, you can't do that calculation. But for the other ones, you get the number for what this table thinks is your maximum 1 repetition. This number is supposed to help you to evaluate how your strength training goes, but also you can use this in your strength training. I've written that you should aim to do 8 repetitions, but that the last 2 ones should be hard. You can also have a look at this guideline that says that you should go for 60 to 80% of 1 repetition maximum, somewhere in that line. And if you know your 1 repetition maximum, you have a guideline for, okay, where should I aim for? And then from that, you want to increase the weight for every session almost during this build-up phase. Guys, that was the strength. We head into the running. The most important part here is the time that you get out from it. Okay. So when you have the time, you go back to the zones. Press this one here, the running calculator. You take in your time, male or female, and calculate. From that, you head into training paces. And this side here has calculated from your 5K test, where about your speed is during different intensities. I want you to have a look in this column here for 1,000 meters. So for example, if you go easy, I want you to be between these numbers per K. And if we then go back to the zones, you can have a look at the running calculator. If you have zone 2, you should be on easy. Okay, then you know more or less in this area where you should be. On 4A, you have threshold to critical velocity. And if we have a look there, we have threshold, critical velocity, and we have these numbers here. So you should be somewhere around there. Okay. Now, when standing on threshold, I want to show you how you use these numbers in training peaks. So when you are here in threshold, we have a look at these numbers here. And you go, I want you to remember those. Moving over here. In your training peak, you click up here, go to settings, then on zones. And here you can find speed pace, which is for running. And I want you to take in your threshold here. And the threshold should be, let's see, where's the right one? Threshold should be somewhere here. So that number in the middle of here, you type in there. In the running calculator, you can also have a look at race times, which this one has calculated, and see, okay, if you're on this on 5K, it calculates that, okay, you can run this on 10K and so on. Also can be good to use just to have a direction in somehow. Remember, these are just numbers calculated. They are not correct. Remember the theory, right? We're getting back to our document. We have the FTP test. If you've done the FTP test on Swift, you will get your FTP out of it. If you have done your FTP test yourself, you get your normalized power and write it there, and then multiplies the normalized power with 0.95. And from that, you get your FTP out. Okay? In this document, again, with the zones, we have a guideline for how hard you should go depending on the zones, more or less how the percentage of the FTP during the different zones. In training peaks, we're getting back to here. There was the running that you should fill in your threshold. And then we go to here, the power. Fill in your FTP here. And then you get that out as well. And by doing that, putting in the biking and the running into training peaks here, this will get into your workouts. So when I do a workout and calculate in the different zones that you're in or so on, these paces will adjust depending on your threshold value in biking or running, so that each workout will suit for every of you, depending on your baseline level. Okay. I also want to show you that you here in Training Peaks can fill in different heart rates from here. And you can also fill in your swimming speed pace as well, the CSS pace that we will get to. But these aren't as important. We won't include that when we use Training Peaks. So you don't need to do that. But if you want to, you can do it. So Training Peaks uses a bit of different zones here, depending on which sport it's calculating for, or if it's calculating for heart rate. And these zones, you can see some are the same as we are using, some are different, and you can choose method for how to calculate the different zones. There are many different types, but I've chosen to work with this zone that you have get out here. So we will work based on these ones. Good, we get back to the test document. We have the swim test, the CSS test. Well done here as well. And you can write down your time on 400 and 200 meters. And then we head back here to the zones. Click on the link for the CSS pace as well. From here, you can enter your time. Just put in the practical time, and you get out the CSS pace. You can also get your CSS pace from Eric. He has done this for all of you as well, if you want to ask him. But here you can also calculate your different zones. So you have from 1 to 5, and you can notice that Eric is using as well this F1, F2, F3, F4, and maximum speed. And then you get a direction for somehow the swimming speeds as well. But most important, again, the feeling in the middle. You should feel easy or steady or wherever you are, depending on how hard you should go. So always take a look at this. The CSS pace that you have, that was the one that you can put into Training Peaks if you want to as well, but not necessary. We won't use it in any specific way during the workouts. Okay, so in short, get out your training scores and calculate them, as I said, to the running calculator and through FTP that you get and this CSS score. Then get into Training Peaks, go to settings, zones, and then fill in the numbers for power here for biking, and then for speed pace for running. Those are the important parts. Good. I'm heading over there, and then we get into the next part of this meeting where we're going to look for what is coming up, what we're going to use this result for in the next training. Christmas is coming, and you will get an easy week to start with. We'll focus on recovery and to get ready for the upcoming weeks. We get into a structure here where you have agility stretch here in the beginning of the week. You will do a single leg drill where you pedal with one leg included in this exercise. Swimming strength, and then a zone 2 running on Tuesday. There will be no coach. So please send a note out in the group if you want to have someone to run with. On Friday, rest day, Christmas. After Christmas food, it comes bike distance, right? And then we have swimming and running distance with a bit of walking as well. And some foot calf strength. Next week, it's medium hard, focusing on threshold. And then a medium week, focusing on VO2 max. And then last, we have a hard week where we focus on threshold again. And you will also have a brick session on Sundays. We'll end up there. And that is the whole block. Then we'll start over again from easy, medium, medium, hard. So we get it. The running workout, I will update those when I get from the coaches exactly how they will be so that you can get them into your watch before the training starts and know the interval session in good time before. Okay. So guys, that was basically it. get into and get your numbers from the tests into training peaks, important with biking and running, right? And then from that, we will start this upcoming block. Super happy to have you all with me on this journey, and looking forward to hear if you have any questions or thoughts or anything. Just write me, text me, call me, whatever. So train on, and I will see you soon. Bye.